He wants to instill his mission. What about you and me who have this aqidah of Tawheed, who have Allah, who have this message, and we are sitting on it? This is another thing to learn. So he says, please find me. So the king, he said, of course. And they selected from the city the best boy. In details, the Prophet ﷺ in Sahih Muslim, he's telling the Sahaba stated Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and Umar, don't tell yourself that what kind of a story will do. It will increase your iman. Number one, the story will show you that how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to humble you and me. Don't think that you have so much faith. This boy, or maybe you become a shaykh, an alim. This boy, he was not, the ulama they say, have not yet reached the age of puberty. And Allah is giving, not only you and me, Allah Almighty, He knows the heart. He's giving example for the people to come, this ulama, this big shuyukh. They went to big universities. Allah tell them, look at this guy. How steadfast on his deen. He's ready to sacrifice his life for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he changed the whole city. He changed the whole city to believe in Allah by giving himself, and he died for this. Let's begin the story. The Prophet ﷺ, he says, they was before you, and the ulama, they say the story happens in Yemen. And the village called the people of Najran. They used to be Christian, but these people, they're supposed to follow Isa alayhi salam. There was the true believers of Isa. They believed that Isa alayhi salam is a messenger. They believed these people. And what happened? This Nuwas, it was a tyrant king. The Prophet mentioned the king in the muluk. إِذَا دَخَلُوا قَرْيَةً أَفْسَدُوهَا. When the muluk and the king, they slave the people. Slowly, he take away from them the iman. And these people starts believing on him. But you know what the king he has? The Prophet ﷺ, he says, كَانَ لَهُ سَاحِرٌ. Look at the word sahir. The king, he used to have a magician, sorcerer. And this is how they delude the people, the mind. Today is probably the media, how to maneuver and change the aql and the mind of the people. Be careful. The Quran is al-haq. And you don't have time to open it, and you open the news day and night, that's what you're going to have in your heart and your mind. That's what you're going to see. You have to see the world from the Quran, from the eyes of Allah. If you do not read the Quran with Tafsir and every day some page here and here, until you develop this mentality that designed by Allah. So what happened? The magician was the one that performed some incredible magic. And they used the jinn, and they used the devils, and they used everything. And the king sitting, and the magician will tell him that's what he did yesterday on. And this is true. The magicians, they know, and they use the jinn to tell them what happened yesterday, and so on and so on. They have limited, but Allah has given the jinn more power. That's why in Islam it's haram to deal with magicians, to deal with jinns and stuff. Deal with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the magician was actually creating fear on the heart of the people, and the king was using this happening. The magician become old. When he get older, look at this magician, the ulama they say. He's using like evil, but still he's worried about the evil will not be spread more. What he did, he went to the king, he said, "Oh king, I am getting older, and I may die anytime. Can you find me a boy?" That's a boy that is intelligent and small, not boy. It's like somebody who's not even yet reached the age of puberty, so I can manipulate his mind. I can actually instill on him my magic, so he will be with you again. And the sunnah of the magician will always continue. And the ulama, they say, look at this magician. He's an evil person. And he tricked the people, he lied to people, they maneuver, they slave the people. But he is willing to propagate his mission. He wants to instill his mission. What about you and me who have this aqidah of Tawheed, who have Allah, who have this message, and we are sitting on it? This is another thing to learn. So he says, please find me. So the king, he said, of course. And they selected from the city the best boy. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهِ. They plan, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala plan. وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. This boy, he starts learning very quickly. He's very intelligent, very smart, and that's how he's supposed to be. But he's learning the wrong thing. He's learning magic. And he starts learning. One time he's passing, he's going from his family, and he's living now in the palace. He's become rich. They eat everything along with nothing to take him away from Allah. When he found the truth, he doesn't know now. Until now, the boy doesn't know anything. That's why we have to be careful of our children, our young people. Someone can take them and instill for them in their mind and in the young age that will affect the whole society. Like this boy. Now he's learning magic, day and night, going back and forth. One time, he found the whole city used to be, like I said, the true followers of Isa alayhi salam, the true believers in Allah, Tawheed, but actually they diminish. None of them, except one, the Prophet ﷺ said, Rahib, one monk, he was hiding from the city. Sometimes when you cannot change the society, you are allowed to stay away. I cannot change these people, it's overwhelming. This monk, which is the sheikh at that moment, he couldn't done what the boy did later. So don't underestimate the power of the youth people. The sheikh couldn't. And the ulama, I'm not saying for myself, I have to listen and study and read from Tafsir more. The sheikh, he says, I can, and if you can't, you can't. You're not able to change something. But you go and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be steadfast on your religion. And there is a hadith the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, because I want to finish the story. He mentioned at the time of trial and tribulation, when no one will listen to you, no one will hear you, it's better for you to go to the mountain and herd your sheep and live and homestead it or live alone by yourself and preserve your religion at least. Now, the sheikh, he was praying alone, nobody knows him, he's away from the city, he's happy with a little food, but he's making salat, making sujood. You know that sujood was at the time of Isa alayhi salam too. There's a verse in the Bible, and Jesus went a little further and he put his forehead in the ground and prayed. This is how I used to tell the Christian, why don't you pray like Jesus? And Jesus went a little further. Some companion saw him and he said, Jesus, peace be upon Isa, went a little further and he put his forehead in the ground and prayed like the Muslims. He was a Muslim, he was muwahid, he was Rasulullah, one of the greatest messengers of Allah, Ulil Azm, the best. But anyway, he saw him praying, and the boy, look at this. If you are a young man, what is the young man? They are playing, they don't care.